Hum. Peraí, deixa eu ver, peraí. Como que é o nome daquela mesmo? Ambulatório Dorothy. Dorothy. A história ficou diferente pra mim, então. E esses carinhos que você tá matando agora? Cadê ela? Ah, tá um pouco pra trás então. Vamos ver então. O nosso caso é consumado, não dá pra esperar. Esse carinha é chato, né? Fica sumindo, aparecendo. Eu só fui aí nesse lugar aí aquela vez que era pra atender o Pia lá. Depois eu não voltei mais aí. É o mesmo lugar, não é? Então, só fui aquela vez só, mano. Depois não voltei mais não. Pra mim não apareceu ainda não. Mas você mordeu ela, não mordeu? Você mordeu ela? Você mordeu ela, mano? Por isso que ela ficou assim? Pra falar, mano. Ah, caramba. Vi. Olha de ralo. Pô, da hora, mano. Essa história ficou bem diferente da minha, pelo jeito. Dá. Ah. Não, mas tem um monte de esconderijo, mano? Tem que achar.
A leech! A leech! Stop Vampyr!
Eles não ficam mostrando o mapa, só depois que acha. Tem vários.
Murder! That's what you do, you leeches! Grenade!
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you. Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This
Ah, é o
is your
cacetão
doing.
mesmo lá?
You made me this creature.
É a primeira vez que ele
What are
aparece?
you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Riddles and rhymes. You took my life. Now you insult my mind.
Be stilled, my child. I bring understanding.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older
O que
rage,
você vai fazer no hospital?
brewed in a cauldron
Vai
newly
consultar?
forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Faz crer.
Seek truth, my champion.
Padrão, né?
Defeat the serpent of knowing.
Ninguém merece trabalhar nesse frio, né, mano? Foda, velho.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Que escudo de sangue? Escudo de sangue é bom, mano, também. Tem uns aqui. O do carinha ficar paradão também é bom, mano. Já pegou? Tem uns carinha aqui que que tem uns carinha que fica defendendo. Boa. Não, faz seu jogo, né, mano? Faz seu jogo. Não vou falar mais nada, não. Seu merda. Não sei como consegue dormir. Tem um remédio que você dá pra elas. Se você tiver o remédio, sim. Ah, vai morrer todo mundo. Todo mundo morreu. Acabou. O remédio fabrica aí na bancada aí também. Todo mundo doente, né? Tá com fadiga? Ah. Mas o outro você matou. Fadiga também o médico indiano ali. Tem um médico indiano ali, ó. O Thiago Leifert também tá com fadiga. Ah, aí daí tem o nome você vê certinho o que, que o remédio faz na hora que você for fabricar. De qual? Boa, é isso, mano. Agora nem que segura. Aí, essa. Não. Porrete farpado com. Aí, é isso que você precisa, pô. Reduzir o consumo. O, o Milton tem pra. O Jaime da ambulância tem pra vender. Esse negócio aí é difícil de achar, mano. Não acha muito. Mas sempre o cara tem pra vender. Toda vez que você dormir, o cara vai ter tudo de novo pra vender. Então, a mim não precisa dar pra todo mundo, não. Você é médico mesmo, hein, mano? Você é médico de verdade. Você é um verdadeiro médico. E... Hã? Tá. Doutor. É, Thiago. Uhum. Oswaldo, não é Thiago.
It's here again.
Que? Por quê? Morreu. Cadê, pô? Ah. Ih. Isso daí não aconteceu pra mim também não, mano. Ih, aquela velha chata. Mano, pra mim não aconteceu isso daí também não. Deve ser a que você tava enfrentando lá. Sei lá. É, que pegou a velha aí. Não sei, mano. Não sei, não tem como saber, né? Mas sei lá. Pra mim também não aconteceu, não. Loucura, loucura, loucura. A novela tá ficando cada vez melhor. Vai seguir no rastro aí, pô. Vai ficar parado aí? Ih. A
Good evening,
carona
Mr.
desse
Fiddick.
bicho.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Você vai lá conversar com ele e você aperta quadrado, eu acho, sei lá. O botão aí, em vez de selecionar as opções de conversar. Algum botão e vai tentando. Não, mas se você já tem um remédio, é algum botão. Quadrado, né não?
Goodbye for now,
Quadrado,
Mr. Fiddick.
triângulo,
I'll see you
bolinha,
later.
R3, L3. Olha lá, apareceu outros negócios, não apareceu?
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Não, ali no. Em vez de sua vida
Thank
em
you for your
Londres e
time.
perguntas
We'll
pessoais,
talk
apareceu
later.
mais opções. Se eu não me engano, aparece ali
I'm quite
mesmo.
busy right now,
Ali
Dr.
no,
Reed.
na roda da conversa aparece a opção de dar o remédio ali. Se você apertar o botão certo. Apareceu aí, parece, mano. Bem
Do you
rapidinho.
think Dr. Strickland has any chance of curing the Spanish flu by himself?
His wish to cure the sick is not driven by pride, but by an idealistic view about our mission here. Honestly, I don't know which is worse.
You consider him a good practitioner, yet you will not report his methods.
Strickland may be a rival, but I will not use dirty tricks or regulations to prove him wrong. We are doctors, not politicians.
Não consegue, né?
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Conseguiu?
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Só não é mais burro porque...
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Is there anything else that...
Passa a receita pra ele, mano. 2
Can I
vezes por
help?
dia, de cada 6 em
Really?
6 horas.
Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who
Um a
needs
cada
help.
6 em 6
And
horas, outro a
complaining
cada
about it
12
won't
em
do you
12
any
horas.
good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Always knew the word.
Você é o Neno da farmácia do posto?
To calm the children, Ellen.
Isso daí deixa morrer essa porra aí, não serve pra nada. Namorada da louca. Vampirona. Essa vampira é o último chefão, mano. Bota fé ou não?
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Coitado.
Not really. I think I caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead, yet smiling inside, Dr. Reed.
As long as you remain here,
Eu
I will
sou
make sure you don't have to worry about
Satan.
your health.
Don't think you can do much about it. Damage is done.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
So many deaths. And what of my own life?
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Eu tô, mano.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
I will be fine. As soon as I can get some sleep.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but... well, maybe it was him.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but... well, maybe it was him.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Pô, tem uma coisa pra comer aí, mano?
Goodbye, nurse.
Tá dando
Call me if you
fome.
need assistance.
Ah, não. Puta que pariu, velho. Vai limpar agora. Vai lá, limpa lá. Ninguém merece. É.
wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
You disgust on every street corner. The daily routine. The pain.
So many
Here
deaths.
again.
And what of my own life? A giant mall disguised as a hospital.
You disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Ah.
Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Do you need medical attention?
Don't get me wrong, sir. I'm grateful for what you've done, but I've never felt comfortable with doctors.
I'm certain you have your reasons. But let me assure you, I'm not like other doctors you may have consulted with.
It is true. You risked your life to save me, after all. It would be impolite to refuse your counsel.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher. Try to take care of yourself.
O Brasil não pode ficar sem BBB, mano. Tá louco? Uhum. De mercenário.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Não tem não, mano? Então outro vendedor vai ter. Você achou uma mulher que é vendedora também? Então ela tem, mano. Tem uma que vende munição, esse negócio aí também.
Patients are not fools. They know we are overwhelmed by this horrifying epidemic.
Cadê? Mas o que aconteceu com ela? A véia que tava limpando os... A véia que tava limpando o sangue não sabia não? Não soube explicar? Ah, procura aí, ué. Caralho. Shanhen. Ah, é o que você resgatou lá? Tipo, que né, falou que era o padre? É, pô, é o que você resgatou lá. Que né, falou que era o padre, lembra? Então é ele, então. Você vai trombar ele ainda, mais pra frente. Pelo menos na minha história, acho que na sua também.
Jonathan, my sincere condolences for your loss.
Your kindness is much appreciated, my lady.
Is there anything you require?
Are we condemned to attend the funerals of all we love?
Dying is the final act of life, Jonathan. Present company excluded. Accepted.
I don't know what to expect. Am I cursed to an eternity of solitude?
With time, we Ekon tend to go into isolation.
Bom dia
If we
do
survive long enough,
canal.
that is.
As a practitioner of the medical sciences, I'm prepared for the death of loved ones. But mourning in the shadows, deprived of sharing one's grief.
We are no longer a part of the circle of life and death. We are undead, my friend, and so we are outcasts.
I spied my mother at the funeral. Have you ever revealed yourself to a member of your family?
Em todos esses anos
No,
nessa indústria
Jonathan.
vital.
And I'd advise you even from thinking about it.
But what if I was close to someone and wished to tell them the truth?
Fear, loathing, disgust. And then they will plead to be turned. They will see it as salvation. Then there's the risk of gaining the attention of vampire hunters.
Are we then condemned to lie to those we love?
We are creatures of deception, my friend. But this is more for their sake than ours.
Goodbye, my lady. Until we meet again.
Created anywhere else in the East.
É brabo. Por que ele fez isso, será, mano?
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital.
Deus
My mission
te
is to
elimine.
heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile.
Ah, esse cara
You
aí.
can't hide from the god.
Isso.
Leave him,
Não é
Jonathan.
lobisomem, não, ele é vampiro também.
This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned.
Não, que eu me lembro, ele é vampiro, mano.
By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
O seu olho? O seu? É, mano, então. Mas parece que tá ficando com o tempo, né? Eu vi, seu olho tá vermelhão, não, em volta.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured
Tem que
patients, at
dormir mais,
least
hein?
one dead
Vou dormir
and
muito
several
pouco.
missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
Tá bastante
We
coisa
cannot
diferente
have
aí,
the
mano. As
people
falas
lose
parecem que tá
faith in
diferente.
this
Porque
institution.
quando aquele cara ia
This
saindo na
hospital
porta
is
ali,
their only hope.
Of course, you're right.
tinha
But
umas
we cannot
falas pra
afford
você
a public
escolher aí,
scandal.
parece que
It
nem
would
teve,
ruin us.
não.
We must restore order and quickly.
You
Então,
mentioned the dead
quando aquele
patient.
cara tava na porta ali,
She, Jonathan.
o protagonista aí
She was Miss
ficou
Harriet
paradão na
Jones.
porta e não queria deixar ele sair. Aí teve umas
Found her
falas pra
room
mim
like a
escolher lá.
slaughterhouse.
Aí depois
Blood
eu
everywhere.
deixei ele sair.
The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
Jonathan, please, I can't rely on anyone else. And this
Você vai ensinar
concerns you as it
paciente morto. De
involves
quem se
vampires.
trata? Uma
Someone has
paciente,
taken
a
advantage
senhorita
of our
Harriet
more liberal
Jones.
tendencies here.
Encontrei o quarto
way?
dela
Jonathan, I
banhado
may
em
turn my
sangue
head
e
when you or
batedor
her
enfermeira
ladyship
de plantão.
indulge, but I will not allow this
Está
place to become a
limpando a
nest for
sujeira.
street feeders.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd
Falou
saved
sobre o
at
que
the
aconteceu lá
docks.
com a véia lá. Por
It
isso
seems he
que
was
foi
infected
diferente, porque
after
comigo
all.
não
So
aconteceu
Hampton
aquilo.
became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Pô, e no hospital não era pra ninguém atacar ninguém, mano. Porque aí dentro. Pelo menos aí dentro do hospital é a área segura.
Do you really believe they would come for us here? In such a public venue?
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You do what you're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this. If you don't mind, I have a few questions.
I'd be delighted to help you if I'm able.
I just recently met the strangest creature in Whitechapel. He was immense. He mocked me and accused me of hypocrisy.
Perhaps it was a scowl. London's streets are overflowing with them these days.
He was observing me with the obvious intent to do me harm. His very presence evoked a palpable sense of menace.
You need to be careful, Jonathan. You've no idea what this creature really is.
It was a vampire, all right. But what kind, I'm not sure. He was large and very fast.
If you find anything more about this creature, the Brotherhood would greatly appreciate any information you could spare.
What exactly happened here while I was absent?
Hampton turned, quite violently as it happened. Lurking about, attacked Miss Jones. To say he created quite a commotion would be an understatement.
Are you sure it was Hampton that killed Miss Jones?
Oh, there was blood everywhere, but no body. And you know the state she was in? I fear for what he did with her. Hopefully he just hid the corpse.
How did the Guard of Prewin come to hear of this?
McCullum has spies everywhere. He will jump at any opportunity to disparage the Brotherhood and show his contempt.
I recently tried to enter a church. It has been a very unpleasant experience.
The Brotherhood's research on the matter of faith and vampirism has proved somewhat insubstantial, to say the least.
It's hard to explain in terms of science, that's for sure.
I'm sure Lady Ashbury will have far greater insight into this matter than little old me.
Is this proof that I'm cursed in the eyes of the divine?
The wrath of the Almighty? There's no way of knowing. It could be subconscious guilt, or irrational fear, or deep-seated beliefs.
Who was that man in your office?
Geoffrey McCullum, actual leader of the Guard of Prewin. I suspect he's the man behind the rebirth of this old and dusty society.
They know I'm here now, don't they?
I understand your need for blood, and will not get in your way. But if you could refrain from feeding within these walls, it would go a long way to defending your case.
What do they hope to achieve?
Their ultimate goal is the eradication of all vampires in the country. They see you as a threat to mankind, Jonathan.
Thank you, Edgar. Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman, butchered by some savage scalp.
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the Scal, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
Have you embraced this woman, like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
Tá aí ainda, mano.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Vai descobrir mais pra frente, viado.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Is this a sign? A hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe
Amanhã eu tenho uma
superstition
entrevista de
and magic
emprego, mas
is
que eu não vou
just
poder ir,
fact
não, mano.
awaiting the lens of science.
Tô doente.
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again soon.
Ai, não tô me sentindo muito bem, mano. Ai. Com quem? Ah, o... Rapaz. Ele tá nas docas? Rapaz. Você não ia com a mão limpa não, hein, mano. Ah. Pode crer então. Ué, já achou ele? Ah, é outro. Achei que era ele já. Dá pra atravessar teletransportando, mano. Tá ligado? Então, mas que jogo? Didi! Ah, nesse não aqui, né? Isso é ruim tudo que você faz.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Lá e no morro.
Christ! He's dead! Christ! See that Watch it! It's a killer!
Ixi, deixa eu começar. Converseiro.
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Bigode fininho.
And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here.
Bigode
Clear off.
de...
We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your
Bigode de
name?
vilão.
Name's Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
Big Blind.
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Big Blinders.
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are
Big
you?
B.
Fuck. You must have some balls.
Nunca vi
I
esse
saw many
cara,
men
mano.
like you,
Nunca vi esse cara na minha vida.
Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier,
Eita,
I
pô,
can
cara, é
respect
bravo.
that.
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? You got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss,
Ih, o
all
cara é
right?
chato,
Wet
hein?
boot boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here like everywhere else.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint.
O
Why
cara
on
é
earth do you
brabo.
want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Achou? Ach...
The sewer dogs' fault, they say. Then the gangs, the epidemics, everyone's throwing the blame.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
Pô,
As I
parece
just
que o
told
gato
you,
só
I'm a
caga nesse
doctor.
quarto seu aí,
From the
mano.
Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke
Ou ele caga
Hospital,
nos
you
outros
say?
lugares também.
I don't have any money for you,
Ah,
I'm
coisa
not
da
here for
lavanderia.
charity, miss.
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
Ah, essa daí que eu falei pra você, mano.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman.
Comprei, pô.
I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
You're
Sou
quite blunt,
empresário.
aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
I'm not interested in a
Vê
career
pra
in the
mim.
criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt or worse.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets.
Outro daí
if
tem
you must know.
That's exactly what that
Tem um
stupid trade
esconderijo aí
unionist
pertinho
claimed
dela
after he
aí.
attacked one
Não
of
sei se
us.
você já achou.
Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words.
Tem um esconderijo perto dela aí, não sei se você já achou. Na hora que você sair eu falo pra você. É só sair
What can
daí
you tell me about this part
às
of town?
esquerda.
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region only
Edwina
responds
Cox
to
é a que morreu,
violence
não,
and
né?
threats.
You sound like you're
Ah,
thinking of
essa daí que
somebody
é
in
a
particular.
Edwina
Take the
Cox.
grave diggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to
verdade.
steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
Are you aware of what happened to him?
Yes. I'm sure he fought till the end and looked death in the eyes. The boys will mourn him. Except one of them, maybe.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint.
Quem que é o marido dela?
I heard he was mugged or
Ex-marido.
something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Can I see what you have to sell?
As long as you have money, I'll show you all I have.
Não tem também, não? Parece que não tem, não, mano. Ah, é ali, ó. É aquele que tem a perninha, não é? Ah.
Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new faces round here.
Perdidinho. Boa. Agora você pode tunar sua arma. Ah, o jogo começa nas docas.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions. Or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and
Boa
thieves, all of them.
noite, porque a noite sempre tem que ser boa.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
No. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Espera.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency, then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. It's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
Any chance you can help me find Sean Hampton?
The sad saint. Why would you talk to that cunt?
Actually, that's confidential.
Really? Well, go ask someone else then. I'm sure Tom Watts will gladly answer you.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Mark my words, miss. These murders are the work of a vampire.
A vampire? Whatever do you mean?
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back, and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story.
Gotta be something.
A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Alô? Tartaruga turquesa. Eu acho que... Cadê o cara? Já achou ele já? Poxa, o sangue tem bastante sangue agora, hein? Aí ó o negócio. Ah não, mas é verde também. I don't know. Vai, encontra o cara lá, mano, só. Tá pertinho, não tá?
Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new faces round here.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too. I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all.
but I like her for sure.
What is bothering you then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Well, something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
Chave do armazém.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one.
Abrigo noturno.
Seems like the Guard of Pre-One is on Sean Hampton's trail.
Bloody crime! Oh, that's gonna smart. Kill it or you can share.
Ah, eu lembro dessa parte. É verdade. Eu lembro dessa parte. Dinho, cara, ele é bom. Muito bom, mano. Muito bom. Passando veneno. O fogo tira bastante sangue do vampiro.
Want some of this? Die! Crush the leech, boys! Die, leech! Die, leech! Grenade!
Pegando fogo, bicho. Nordinho, família. Travou. Preparadão, teve uma hora. É isso, porra. Caralho. Finado Jimmy Fagulha. É o fim do Jimmy Fagulha.
It's a leech! Kill it!
Best be moving on.
Please, sir, can't let you. It's not human. Kill it! No rest for the wicked.
Ixi, esses caras é chato, hein, mano. Os caras que tem tipo uma cruz que carrega. Muito chato.
Go on, back to the shadows. The beast must die. We cannot be defeated. Lord, give us strength. Big fucking beast. Die, leech.
Nice. Ela me chama de bandido, chama ela de... Adoro mano. Pô, aí nesse lugar acho que eu enfrentei um chefinho aí também. Como é que você passou? Tem que ir pelo outro lado.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is
Ah,
Giselle
tá trancado era o
Paxton,
armário, né?
but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met
Achei
before?
que era o portão.
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as
Boa
an
noite,
enemy
senhorita. Eu
of the
sou o Dr.
working
Jonathan
class.
Reed. Sua atenção. Boa noite, meu nome é Gisele Paxton.
May I ask what you do for a living?
Mas não
I'm
tenho
killing
tempo.
myself scraping for a living. And you?
Não, mas
Have you ever had
só
to
pelas suas
struggle in
roupas
your entire life?
estar às docas à noite.
As I told you,
livro pela
I'm a doctor. You have to work a lot to earn that title.
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in a nice house, were we? Was Daddy a banker or a doctor himself?
Posso lhe perguntar o que faz da
Why
vida?
such hatred?
Não.
Are you judging me by my clothes and my job?
Of course I am. Fuck, you're so blind. You don't even see your privilege. Lazy people like you disgust me.
What can you tell me about this vicinity?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive, I mean.
Por que pode?
If you
Está
have
me
something to
julgando.
say it.
É claro, porra.
I'm getting
Você
tired
é
of
tão cego que nem enxerga seu privilégio
You want
comunista.
information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle
Yeah.
Paxton does not like you at all, Doctor.
You don't know me, Miss Paxton, and yet you see me as an enemy.
Your manners, your clothes, your words tell me everything about you, sir. I know your kind, and you don't belong
Então vou
here.
lhe dar Gisele Paxton. Não gosta nem um pouco de você, doutor.
You're right. I have never
Please.
suffered from poverty. But that doesn't mean I don't fight it and its consequences.
I really doubt you ever had to fight for anything in your life, Dr. Reed.
You speak of strikes and class enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big companies.
You lost your job because of your beliefs.
Those bastards really
Ela
hate
é
a worker
feminista,
who
mano.
refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially when it's a woman.
Tá explicado.
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need? Why don't they support you?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men saw me count the money in that bar. Some sort of militia in uniform. I'm sure they robbed me.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help?
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Well, I'll leave you for now. Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Meteu a mão no dinheiro.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks? Not fishy at all.
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous part of town?
You want to know my secret? I'm trying to earn money. And I'm Lottie Paxton, by the way.
Is it not dangerous to work here at night?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble. The Sad Saint now provides me and my sister a bed and a roof. I don't want to lose that.
Are you homeless, Miss Paxton?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place for me and my sister.
What can you tell me about the Sad Saint?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton, the Sad Saint of the East End. He gave me shelter, and he's not always sad.
What can you tell me about this place? How are things here?
It may be okay for a strong girl like me, but a dandy doctor from the city like yourself, you better watch your back, Mr. Reed.
You really think I should go back to a safer place, miss?
No. I think you had better stay and help as many people as you can. Just avoid the wet boot boys. Those bastards are worse than the epidemic.
Which local dangers must I avoid?
Well, the gangs, the thieves, the drunks, the jobless. A man with your fancy clothes will attract a lot of attention.
Well, I am not someone so easily intimidated.
Glad to hear that. And if you get into trouble, you can always seek help at Sean Hampton's shelter. No one would dare to be violent there.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum he manages, I suppose. Why do you want to see him?
He was a patient of mine at the Pembroke Hospital, but he left abruptly.
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a discreet and dedicated man. I'm sure you'll find him soon enough.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Come now, Lottie. There is still much work to do.
Why is Mr. Delaney collecting old newspaper articles about bombings?
This Seymour worries me. Perhaps Sean knows something about him.
Achou?
Come now, Lottie. There is still much work to do.
Eu me lembro lá pra fora, tinha que ser lá pra fora. Eu me lembro. Não tenho certeza. Na verdade, essa briga é subterrânea.
Your kind's not welcome here, sir.
A outra tá bebendo. Pinga. Ah, se você quiser ir dormir, mano, eu vou dormir também.
Why the long face, Doctor?
Achou cara.
Is it
Essa
all
parte de
that
falar
worries you, Sean?
com
My
esse
long
cara que ele tá
face.
procurando é legal. Né?
Really?
This is a blessing for me to become a Skal.
Ah,
Immortality
isso
gives
daí
me more
mesmo
time
era
and
essa.
energy, if truth be known, to run a shelter. What more could I want?
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will.
O
As the Lord is my
vai ser
shepherd, I
diferente
will
pra
not
você.
speak a lie to you.
Aren't you afraid
Senhora.
of what you've become?
We are blessed,
Senhora.
Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and aid those that need it.
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross, nor am I forced to take the life of another. My kind doesn't share your imperfections.
Ele virou vampiro ou não?
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your
Ele
scripture.
virou...
Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life.
Como que ele virou?
And I will raise him up at the last day. So saith
Você
the Lord.
presenciou?
I only need to eat flesh, no blood.
Ah, aquela vez lá.
Why return here?
This is my home. These people are my flock. You will always find me where I am needed.
Wonders never cease. Skal managing an asylum.
And what of you? A vampire doctor? Meals laid out before you. Yet you restrain?
And what about William Bishop? He tried to take care of you. But this hunger, this thirst, cannot be restrained.
Alas, poor William. He had a good soul, but was weak in spirit. He could not shake the thirst for booze, never mind blood. But have faith. My will is far stronger than his.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
But you were close to her.
Of course. But she was lost, separated from the fold. She did not see the hand of the divine in my blessed condition.
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of God's creatures. I have nothing but love for all he has made.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you'll find all the proof you need.
Very well. You have definitely intrigued me. I hope you're right, Sean.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I surrender myself to your judgment.
Ah, agora que você vai lá no lugar que ele fica lá. Você pegou a chave. É. Eu não lembrava que encontrava ele aí, eu só lembrava que encontrava ele lá. Lá é legal, ver o que vai acontecer.